Hello YouTube, Magma Rhino here. I just want to talk about an upcoming tablet or two from Asus. The reason I say that is because right now nobody knows if there is one or two tablets coming from Asus, but there definitely is one. The one that's well, not really confirmed, but the one that is more rumored to be coming is the first Nexus tablet. Google teamed up with Android to make a quad-core Nexus tablet, 7-inch HD display for supposedly $250. This was to compete with the Kindle Fire and to kind of get Android back where it's supposed to be, because the Kindle Fire, which was like the best-selling tablet, Android tablet, since it was so cheap, that pretty much just destroyed Android. It ripped it apart and made its own thing. So Google wants to get Android kind of back under their control, have the actual platform more popular instead of the heavily modded platform. But also Asus has created a tablet called the Asus Memo 370T, and that was just in the FCC today. It just got passed through, so now people are wondering if the Memo 370T is the Nexus. If they in fact are the same thing, if they are the same form factor but with different operating systems, if the Memo maybe has Asus's skin on it, which it isn't really much of a skin. I'm not running the stock skin right now, so I can't really like demonstrate, but it basically is stock Android, which is a few added apps, some slight appearance things, but nothing too crazy. But regardless of what comes out, if it's the Memo that comes out, if it's the Nexus comes out, if both come out, if just the Nexus, it is a very, very high spec tablet, and it's really cheap. The only downside I see is it being a 7-inch tablet, which some may like more, but I personally prefer, the nice 10-inch tablet, because 7-inch is like in between, but a 10-inch is like a real tablet. It's a lot bigger, nicer. So anyway, this is going to have a 1280 by 768 pixel, I believe. So that's kind of hinting at a smaller navigation bar, since this one, 1280 by 800, was to accompany the navigation bar, but I don't really know. That's just kind of a guess. It's going to have pretty much the same specs as the Asus Transformer does, the one I'm using now, IPS screen technology, gig of RAM. They're saying there's going to be an 8-megapixel camera, which I don't know how they're going to get that in the $250 price, but hey, if they can do it, that's pretty cool. It's also going to be the quad-core Tegra 3 at 1.3 gigahertz supposed, and it will be running Android 4.1, which many believe to be Jelly Bean. So what Asus has done, what Google has done is, instead of going up to 5.0 for Jelly Bean, they're keeping it at 4.1, and my guess for this is because they don't have enough devices running Ice Cream Sandwich right now. Only about 5% of devices globally are running Ice Cream Sandwich. The rest are Honeycomb, Gingerbread, Froyo. So I'm guessing, since Ice Cream Sandwich was the first platform to unify tablets and smartphones, they're going to want to get a lot more onto the Android 4.0 platform before upgrading to 5. So anyway, pretty much, let me just look up the Asus Nexus. So now this one has appeared in some benchmarking data. Let's just go through this. There's the resolution, which is the same as I said for the Memo. Same Tegra 3 processor, same clock speed. And also Android 4.1. So that is a pretty big indicator that these two tablets are in fact the same device, and the Memo naming was kind of to disguise it, to I don't know what the reason is, or maybe they are same hardware, but you can actually choose if you want it to be Nexus, which is just stock Android, nothing installed at all, or if you want to choose Asus's firmware, which I personally would prefer the Asus skin, because it's not intrusive, it's not going to make it all ugly, like, no offense, but TouchWiz, Moto Blur, obviously, Sense, they all kind of, like, completely change it. I like the stock Android feel, but Asus adds some really nice apps. I don't know why I did that. They had some nice apps and features that aren't in the stock. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to this device. I think a lot of people will be too, because of the price range. Apparently, for the Nexus, if they are the same, I don't know if they're the same or not. I'm just going to say they're the same. That's my guess, because right now, Asus is still working on the Transformer Pad 700 Series Infinity and the Pad phone and the Memo. I don't see why they'd be working on 4 tablets at once. They were never really like a big company for releasing all sorts of stuff. They usually did like one every 6 months as far as tablet-wise. But so my guess is they're the same, and Google's trying to get it down to $200. I really don't see that happening, but still, $250 for this device. $300 is a really good deal still. I mean, you're getting the IPS HD display, sure, 7-inch, but with Asus's history, I'm guessing it's going to have good battery life. It's going to be reliable, stable. It's not going to have many issues. The only major issue Asus has ever really had with their tablets is Wi-Fi connectivity with the Prime, but I mean, if it's going to be this cheap, it's going to be plastic, so no worries about that. So I think it's going to be a really great device. If you've been looking for a budget tablet, you didn't want to get the Kindle Fire or I believe Nook made one too, to compete with it. But if you didn't want to get those because they weren't really Android, they were just so completely destroyed. I don't mean that in a mean way, but if you know what Android is and you've used a Kindle Fire, which I have used one a little bit, I don't like it at all. It's really messed up. I would prefer an actual Android operating system as opposed to whatever they did. But so my point is, if you've been looking for a cheap Android tablet, perhaps a 7-inch Android tablet, you want something that's going to have good battery life, good screen, good processor, all the good stuff, and it's still cheap, this is going to be your go-to. So there is going to be an announcement in about a month. I believe it is on June 27th. I'm not exactly sure on the date, but that's what I seem to remember. And it'll have the new 4.1 Jelly Bean on either one of those or both of those or whatever it may be. That's pretty much it. Sorry this is very confusing, but quite honestly, it is confusing. If this is like a cover-up, if they're trying to cover up the Nexus tablet by calling it the Memo, and then at the last second or at this announcement, they're going to be like, oh, by the way, the Memo that everybody's been giving awards and stuff before it's even been released, that's actually the Nexus tablet. I'm sure people will be surprised. Some people might be upset because they don't want the stock Android experience. They want some of Asus's customizations, but I'm sure for the most part people won't care. They'll just be like, a $250 tablet with all those great specs, yeah, give me it. So that's pretty much it. I will be posting another video when more information comes out. I'll definitely be doing one after the announcement, and if any confirmed release dates come out, if any more specs, if any distinction comes out between the two, or if they are the same, I will be sure to keep you guys updated. And I apologize for not doing any software updates for the Asus Transformer lately. I have been doing a ROM test. As you can see, I'm on a custom ROM now, and let me just show you real quick. My desk is an absolute mess. I've been doing it on my papers. I'm doing AOKP, Revolver, and Team EOS compared to stock, and I'm doing it on all sorts of stuff, so I haven't been on the stock firmware for the past 2-3 weeks, because I've been doing all these tests and battery tests, and these things take a long time. But once I'm done with this, I will be back to giving you update information. It's just for the time being. So thank you very much for watching this. Sorry if this video is a little disorganized, all that stuff. I just want to get the information out since the since the Memo Pad passed through the FCC today. I kind of wanted to get it out as quick as possible. And I have a ton of homework, and I have to do this before homework, because otherwise I'm just going to fall asleep and not do this. So that's pretty much it. Thanks again for watching. See you later.